What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. I wanted to bring all you along with me as I plant out one of the few cultivated fruits that are native to North America. I found a number of them growing here wild in New Jersey. What are they, you might be asking? We're talking blueberries. Let's go! I have 10 blueberry plants right here. I'm only going to plant 6 of them because I'm going to give 4 away to a friend. And we've got 4 different varieties, which is important. When it comes to planting blueberries, you want at least 2 varieties that are different, that are next to each other to help in pollination. 3 would be better. We have 4 here, which is good. And again, you want to put those different varieties close to one another because the flowers aren't super showy, but we want to make sure we get good cross-pollination between them. That'll really help with how much fruit you're going to be getting. So I'm going to be planting them in the new food forest in a couple different locations. I'll show you where. But before I get too much into that, and we're going to talk more about specifics when it comes to blueberries, I want to show you a clip from July 2018 where I found local blueberries, some monster ones. So I'm going to put that right in now. Look at those wild blueberries right there. That is a wild blueberry. Massive, it's got blueberries on it. Look at this, these little ones, delicious. I don't think it's a huckleberry either. I believe this is, actually this could be a huckleberry, but there are wild blueberries also. This one right here is a blueberry. The size of it. Little blueberries on it. I've eaten some of those. Let me find a blueberry so you know this one's not a huckleberry. It's got some things vining over top of it. It's still growing well. I've eaten some of them. Here's a blueberry right here. So those are probably huckleberries at the bottom, and the one at the top, that's a blueberry. They're so sweet, so good. So much flavor. There's more of them here. I've decided where I'm going to be planting my blueberries. So I'm going to be planting 2 between this fruit tree here, 2 between those fruit trees there, and then 2 back over here. That's why I need to move this wood. And this is part of an old cedar tree that I cut down, I think about a year ago, right over there. I showed you because I needed to open up some more light to the food forest to get all these fruit trees in, these blueberries and all these strawberries. And when it comes to blueberries, there's basically 3 different types you can grow. And dependent upon your location is going to be the ones you're going to want to choose. For instance, first we've got low bush blueberries. These ones are best in the north. They grow typically in zone 2 to 6. They have smaller berries, but are supposed to be packed with flavor. Then you have high bush blueberries. Those are a lot of the typical ones I grow here, and they're going to be typical in your home garden. And they grow in zones 3 to 8. And they can get, I guess, 5 or 6 feet tall about. And you have hybrids between the low bush and the high bush ones as well. The third type is going to be rabbit eye blueberries. These ones are going to be your best ones for the south. They like the warmer climate. Typically they're going to be in about zone 7 to 9. They can get big, about like 10 feet tall. The thing about this is, if you have a location where you don't get any frost, you may not be able to grow blueberries because they need about a few weeks of a chill period in order to break their dormancy. So again, if you guys are ordering blueberries online, try to make sure you get the right type that'll get you to better harvests.
Lord, I pray, let them be safe.
I'm not gonna lie, this thing is mighty heavy, so I'm not gonna be able to move it on my own. I'll have to wait for someone to come and help me with it. But I cleared it out enough that I can get the blueberries in. So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna place the ones I want where I wanna plant them. And again, I'm gonna put 2 different varieties next to each other. Even though I'm gonna keep the whole group close, I'm gonna keep 2 varieties next to each other to increase that pollination.
No turning back, I'm just a mile away from home. Sit here, wait, let me be patient. Sometimes it's hard to ease my mind to realize you're always with me, waiting, willing.
Another thing when ordering and planting blueberries is you're gonna have early, mid, and late season ones. So you wanna make sure you get all those 3 different timings so you got blueberries, you extend that harvest for a longer season. Now we got in place, so I'm gonna move the wood chips back and start planting. When it comes to planting and growing blueberries, there's a few things you're gonna wanna take into account regarding the soil. One of them is that they like a nice loose loamy soil. So I think this location is gonna be good. Another thing is they like an acidic soil that ranges from about 4 to 5.5 with the pH. I think I'm high right here, in regarding the pH. So what I'm gonna do is add some peat moss. That's one thing you can do. You can also add pine needles. That'll acidify the soil too, if you mix it in. So my neighbor uses peat moss. He has great luck with it. He has excellent blueberries, and it also says in a lot of the books, so that's what I'm gonna use. Another thing to take into account though is that most blueberries, well, blueberries in general, they're mostly all surface roots. So you're gonna wanna keep up on the watering, especially in those hot, dry months. So let's get some of these wood chips pulled back, get the area dug up, get some of this mixed, and then we'll get moving. This peat moss is typically really dry when you get it, which is good because it makes it much lighter. So I just want to open it up, not breathe in too much of the airborne stuff, but I want to dump it into a tote like this first, then water it down, because after you get it in, you know, you're going to want to make sure it's nice and moist before you get it in there. Actually, it's going to be a lot better for you because it's kind of hard to get wet. You'll notice when I put it in.
To hear my prayers, my hopes, my dreams, my every need. I pray for light in times of darkness. What's meant to be will always be, though I control my destiny. Free will you gave me, though you made me. Be careful of the things you do, it eventually comes back to you.
Okay, we got the peat moss all mixed up. As you can see, it's kind of a process to get done, to actually start absorbing the water. That's why I suggest you definitely do it, wet it down before you put it in there and have to sit there and water it over the hole. You know, I don't think that's as good of a practice as this. And again, this peat moss, it's not for actually fertilizing the soil or anything. We're just trying to bring back down that pH, so it's more ideal for growing blueberries. Now I'm just gonna pull back these wood chips, and I'm gonna pull back the wood chips because I want you guys to know, I'm gonna stress this throughout the whole growing season. We do not plant in wood chips. We don't grow in wood chips. The wood chips are simply a mulch. So we're gonna pull back to the soil, pull that soil back, and then dig up and plant this actually in the ground, in the soil, mixed with the peat moss, not planting in wood chips. I'm going to move these two out of the way. And we've got a Patriot here and a pink lemonade. Both typically around the same season, so they should be flowering at the same time, which is going to be good to help pollinate one another. And it's good to get, if you're going to want to plant blueberries and other things by your fruit trees, it's good to do it when these trees are young, because you don't want to do it when these trees are older and affect any of the roots of either of the trees. So I'm going to get these wood chips pulled back, and you'll notice that these wood chips are going to be deep. The first year I put the wood chips in, when I'm trying to kill the grass out, I'll put them much deeper, and then you don't need it as deep the coming years, because your annuals aren't going to reseed and come up as weeds. Because now that I've got basically all this grass eliminated, the wood chips just don't need to be as thick. But if you want to do them thick around the fruit trees, that's great. Just in an annual garden, it's unnecessary to have 8 inches of wood chips, in my opinion.
Sometimes it's hard to ease my mind to realize you're always with me, waiting, willing to hear my prayers, my hopes, my dreams, my every need. I pray for wisdom and understanding.
I wanted to grab the camera and show you something. You'll notice right here, what's breaking down these wood chips. We've talked about it before. It's not the composting process that's going to break these down. It's the fungus. Look at all these strands of fungus in here working. That's actually, that means we got a nice moisture content, setting up the ideal environment for the mycorrhizal fungi, which is so important when growing a lot of your annuals and especially your fruit trees. So we really like what we see. We see life in here. And I'm gonna plant these blueberries actually almost in the same hole, right next to each other. This isn't something I suggest doing because I've never done it before. If you only have a couple of blueberries, then it'd be best to probably space them out just a little bit. But again, I think it's gonna be unique to kind of plant them in the same hole. It'll almost look like a grafted blueberries with 2 different kinds right next to each other. One thing that's gonna make it really cool is we've got the pink lemonade blueberries. So those ones are like a pinkish color, and the Patriot, which is a darker color. So it should be a pretty striking thing to see. Now I'm gonna start digging my holes, and I'm gonna throw all this dirt into a wheelbarrow, because I don't want it mixed in with the wood chips. You don't want to mix your soil with the wood chips. That's a no-no.
Destruction of civilizations past is consequence of forest fire. Air we breathe, a gift from the trees. What goes up must come back down. What goes around comes back around. Things you do be done unto you. Sometimes it's hard to ease my mind to realize you're always with me, waiting.
Grab a plant, see where height is at. It looks pretty good there because I'm going to mix some some peat moss into that, so that's pretty good. You can see how sandy the soil is, which is good for growing blueberries. That's one of the reasons they grow native in New Jersey. And you can see a little bit of a soil difference. The top stuff is a lot better than some of the stuff on the side. That doesn't just have to do with the wood chips, although that's helped. Some of that has to do with we had a Bradford pear tree over here, so those leaves continually drop down and help to build the soil. But you'll notice no grass anymore. The wood chips just killed all that out. So what we're gonna do is just have them relatively close to each other, like I mentioned. Probably about like that. This way you kind of have them growing close to each other, but not that the roots are going to disturb each other. But again, we're going to have those two different colors berries right next to each other, almost look like a grafted plant.
Yeah, my prayers, my hopes, my dreams, my every need. I pray for peace in times of war. Universal law, Babylon shall fall. The things you do shall be done unto you.
Start with this Patriot one. We'll just loosen up the sides. And there's some slow release fertilizer in here. I want to make sure I get that out before I put it in. That's better. We'll just loosen up the sides of this pot. Flip it over. Hold it with one hand. Just slide it out. It looks pretty good. It's not super root bound. And we want to make sure that the same height that it was planted at is where we keep it. So I'm going to have to raise the soil just a little bit to about there. Get some more peat moss in there. Start mixing in some of my native soil.
Oh, well, I know you stroked the setup, baby, of all the leaves up in the ground. And I know your song is old but healthy. Yes, I see dry leaves falling down. With all this fever in my mind, I could drown in your kerosene eyes. You're just a riddle in the sky. Where do my bluebird fly? And as the early sigh of dawn will thunder, I see you stir the fog around. And when you find the voice and gears of sunset, we'll hear that high and lonesome sound.
All done. I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, they're kind of close here. I'll cut some of the branches that are crossing over, encourage the growth to go both ways. But soon in the future, I hope it's going to be one big bush. I think that's going to be really cool and a lot of fun. Now I'm going to bring the wood chips back around the base of them. And I'm going to try to have the small wood chips around them. Make sure I have that thick mulch, because again, these blueberries, they have a lot of surface roots. We want to keep them nice and moist constantly. That'll help a lot with the fruiting. So 2 of them in, looking good.
And I would question every wind if they gone through the glow of your eyes. So you're just a riddle in the sky. Where do my bluebird fly?
I wanted to mention in regards to spacing, it's advised that you space your high bush blueberries and your rabbit eyes about 5 feet apart, maybe 7 feet apart for the rabbit eye ones. And your low bush ones, you can keep them closer, about 1 to 2 feet apart. I wanted to stress that the reason I planted these so close was I wanted them again to grow like one bush basically. That's how I'm treating it. And I'm going to do the other ones between the fruit trees too, kind of as an experiment. So don't necessarily take this advice because I've never tried it out myself, but it's just something I wanted to share with you. Again, you're planting your own, make sure you space those out about 5 feet apart unless you want to experiment like I did. And some of you might say, man, he's so lucky that he got those blueberries, especially for the price. I got them for $10. But something I heard and it kind of resonated with me, it said, luck comes in the form of opportunity. So you can't really be lucky unless you're open to opportunity and you take advantage of it. So I encourage you guys to make sure you guys have your eyes open to opportunity. That is where real luck actually comes from. I wanted to give you a peek of the finished product now. As you can see, those are very close, but that's how I wanted it. It might look like it's a little lower, but you saw that they're the same as soil level. I just have the wood chips really thick over here, and then I pulled it back so it looks like they're even thicker. So I'm going to plant these two right next to each other as well. And the two back there, I'm going to space those the typical 5 or 7 feet apart. I'm not going to be able to get it finished today though because it's starting to rain. I don't want the camera to get wet. I'll be back at it tomorrow and just finish this all up. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow I'm going to be planting out the rest of these blueberries following the same principles. One thing I wanted to mention additionally though is if you have weeds coming up around the base of your blueberries, you're going to want to pull those when they're young. This way you're not really disturbing the roots too much and they're not taking any water from your blueberries because those are mostly surface roots like I mentioned. And that's why that thick organic mulch, especially the wood chips, are going to be ideal for growing healthy blueberries. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends. Me and Tuck will be back at you real soon with hopefully more valuable content. We